told you, I don't have room in my schedule for that. I'm a very busy lady. Oh, sorry, Margaret, I seem to have a client. Hello, I didn't see you there. I'm very busy, of course, but I notice you aren't one of my regular clients. You haven't been here before. Excuse my rudeness, I had no idea. Welcome to the sock market. Are you here to buy, sell, trade, of course? Socks that were given to you, or... Excuse me, let me write this all down. Well, alright, I'll see what we can do. We have a wide variety, selection of socks, and we are very good at analyzing socks for trade. I see you have 2 singles there, and I will help you discuss your options and see if we could trade it for the best deal that we can find for you, alright? Alright. Now, first, can I get your name? Just for form purposes. And how did you hear about us? Alright. And you say you are going to trade both of those socks? Do you intend on purchasing more socks, or just leaving it at the 2? Alright, we'll leave that blank and see if I can properly impress you. So let's see what socks you have for us. Ah, I see. This one catches my eye. A toe sock. Knee sock length. Let's see. Black, blue, green, red, purple, red, purple, blue, yellow, blue, green. Ah, there doesn't seem to be an exact pattern, so much as a variety of colors and stripes, which are very popular this season, and a highlighted toe, which is very rare. Toe socks, as it were, are very popular, especially during the winter seasons. Very nice to keep your toesies all warm and individually wrapped, as I say. I believe you could trade this for a large sum, and in fact, it is a very good thing that you came when you did, because with the holiday season coming up, toe socks become very popular, and they do begin to dip in popularity as things tend to warm up. So you have very good timing on that one, and especially given the knee length. Now, given the time of year, I wouldn't advise you to start investing in shorter socks quite yet. Better to wait until around about February. February for short socks. That is when they are the cheapest, because it is cold and yet spring is just around the corner. And I'd say, let me see. So probably not fuzzy socks either. But I have here a good selection of knee socks, as well as a few thigh highs and leg warmers, if you're interested in that sort of thing. Let's see what else you have for us. rather stripy, so you seem to be a big fan of stripes. These stripes also knee length, but if you notice, very different. Also with the uneven stripes, but somewhat different in that, well, this one is not a knee sock, but, oh, I didn't see this at first. A tree on the side. That makes this worth much more than your average stripy knee sock. So, yes, I believe you could get quite a bit for these two. Now let's discuss the elephant in the room. Write that one down, Margaret. Elephant. Write it down. So, the first sock that I've pulled out, as you see, is a simple pinkish purple sock with a pattern of elephants on it. Some of them holding flowers. Now these are very nice for early spring, so it's a bit early to start investing now, but this is when they tend to be cheapest, because right now everyone is buying socks for the holidays, which means lots of red and green, lots of Santa, fuzzy socks, and that is what is most popular now. If you get a head start on long but still fairly spring-themed socks, it'll be perfect for that time in February and March when the frost is just beginning to melt. Now, what you have presented me with is worth a lot more than just one elephant sock. So I will present you with your options, and you can inform me of what you're most interested in, perhaps buying pairs together, and I can tell you how much your trade would be worth. Does that sound good? Alright. Now let's see. Again, with the spring theme, we have a long ladybug sock with ladybugs on leaves on a very long vine. Now, I know I mentioned that red and green socks become very popular around this time of year. And while this is red and green, it will not become popular until around about March, maybe late February. But it still fits in with our spring collection. Could be very easily mismatched with a number of different things. Can mismatch it with polka dots or perhaps butterflies. I've seen it wonderfully mismatched with bumblebees. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, this would definitely be a sock for you. Now, perhaps if you are interested in more intellectual pursuits, we have this solar system sock. It's designed quite differently from the others, given that it is not a constant pattern, but if you unfold it this way, you can see our solar system with the sun and various planets, as well as stars, all over the sock. And the solar system appears on the front of the sock, front and stretches a bit onto the sides as well, so it doesn't come off as an asymmetrical sock like your tree sock did with the tree only being on one side. So this is very good if you're interested in something a little bit more quirky, but perhaps not too out there. And these tend to be fairly popular year-round, but of course during the colder months they are more popular. Another good sock for those with intellectual pursuits is this science sock, which has molecular structures, goggles, atomic models, test tubes, radioactive symbols, and here we have a microscope. These become very popular with students, especially students among the sciences, as well as research scientists or professors, or even parents with small children who want to introduce them to the world of science and all of its wonders. And again, this tends to be popular year-round, but I would say that the popularity I've noticed tends to peak during the beginnings and endings of the school year. And within the college population, minor peaks around finals. So you may be able to catch a peak around final exams, and you will definitely catch a peak come May and June. Despite the length, surprisingly, this is one of the few that managed to defy that. Alright, let's see what else we have here. We have some ninjas, which people don't tend to expect within our stocks, but I suppose you never see ninjas coming. This one is again patterned with all these ninjas in the same position, and this one also tends to peak its popularity around the winter months. There are many people who use these as a sort of good luck charm, so I have seen people come to purchase a ninja sock for use at a job interview, at an exam time, so it's very difficult to tell when exactly these will peak specifically, but again, they do tend to be more popular during the winter months. As well, we have robots, which tend to come and go. Again, they peak during the winter months, but these being little pink robots with purple and hearts tend to be very popular around Valentine's Day, even though it's not necessarily a Valentine's themed sock. And alright, here we have birds, which striped would actually go quite well with your tree, perhaps, since these are birds sitting on telephone wires, but alas, you are trading that to us. Unless you happen to have another one at home? No, see, that's often why people come to us to trade socks, because they have lost one and they find it may not be as nice without its mate. But I'm sure your socks will go to a good home. Now, Anyway, this one is not quite as perfectly patterned, given that, if you notice, most of these birds are solitary. Here in the middle there are two. So, it's not completely random, since other socks from this make are slightly different. But always a good match to go with striped socks due to the horizontal lines, and judging based off of the socks you've given us, it seems you do happen to have a preference for horizontal lines, which I can't blame you. Stripes do tend to be quite universally popular. Now, if you're interested in a different type of pattern, we have a nice selection of argyle socks, which tend to be a little bit more popular in the crew sock length, but with knee socks you find a good popularity actually in late winter and early spring. A lot of ladies like to wear argyle with skirts, for example, in the spring. And within our men's collection, you do find a lot of varied colors argyle socks for men as well. Although, for men it tends to be, again, mostly in the crew sock range. Alright, and now, if you are interested in certain pairings, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. This happens to be a favorite, just because, you know, the well-known saying. And apples are also very popular around springtime, early spring, as well as fall, of course, it being apple season. So, aside from the very heat of summer, apples tend to be very popular socks. And doctors tend to be more popular, again, among academics, among those who are studying medicine themselves, or at least interested in the health field. This sock in particular involves the first aid symbol. I believe that is a thermometer, heart monitor, some pills, a band-aid, a shot, and a little stethoscope. And this one has a minor peak in popularity around February, I think due to the hearts. Although, again, honestly, it isn't a Valentine's Day sock. Another sock that becomes popular with the apples is these pairs of glasses. I assume relating to the company Apple and the prevalence and rise of what some call Apple geeks. And now often these glasses can be mismatched with other things. For example, I've seen these mismatched with argyle and referred to as hipster glasses. I've heard them mismatched with the science and seen as a sort of science geek. They are a very versatile sock, and while there is a minor peak in fall, they tend to be fairly popular almost year-round. Now, if you are interested, I have some leg warmers, and these are like long socks but without the toes. A simple red one, perhaps? No? Alright. How about long socks, thigh-high socks? I know you have an interest in stripes, so you have stripes and maybe polka dots? No? Alright. Let's see now. What would you say of the socks I have shown you are you the most most interested in? If I am judging your reactions correctly, you didn't seem too impressed with the elephants. Perhaps... here we go. Ninjas. You had your eye on the ninjas, didn't you? I thought so. Alright, well, you can probably trade your socks for the ninjas and 2 others among this bunch. Let me see. You could perhaps trade them for the apples and the glasses if you would like a pair that goes together. And in fact, while the ninjas don't work in theme with these 2, they seem to work fairly well in color. Does that sound fair to you? Alright. Now I will wrap these up for you, and once I have this written down on your form, let's see. 1 toe sock. And 1 knee sock. 4 3 patterned knee socks. And, alright, so if you could sign there, and initial there. Alright, and we have ourselves an exchange. Alright, now here is my card, and here is your package. And I suggest you return perhaps around about February or March to a trade if you are interested in playing the sock market. If you intend on keeping those socks more long term, I completely understand. And if you have any other socks that you would like to come trade with us, you have my card now, and you can come back anytime. Alright. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.